Hi there, I'm Grace, and I just want to appreciate you for hanging out with me for a couple minutes today. I want to say straight up that this is not any kind of a presentation. There's no recruiting pitch, there's none of that. My hope is that whenever I share about what Mary Kay is, it just gives women enough information that they can make whatever decision is right for them. And P.S., you don't need to make any decisions today. Like, there's no like, for a limited time only, or if you do this, but like, no, that's cringe, and I don't roll that way. Um, but I will tell you a little bit about the woman that I was when I started my business 24 years ago. Um, I was working full time as a dental hygienist. I worked a 12-hour shift in one practice, and I worked three 9 to 10 hour shifts the rest of the week. Um, I did not hate my job at all. I made good money. The hours weren't horrible. What I can tell you is that I was in this position where I was just not, like, I could not see myself doing that for the rest of my life. Not because it was bad or wrong, but because I just did not feel called to it. Like, I think women can learn how to do pretty much anything, but it's not the same as being called to it. And my husband and I, we were newly married, but starting to think about a family. And I really had grown up very differently than the way that I wanted to raise my kids. And I wanted it to be in alignment with our values and definitely um, on our time and terms. And I just knew that, when your patients are scheduled 6 months out, it's really challenging to do that. Like, it just is. It's really hard to move people around. And as you know, kids are not very strategic when they get sick or have emergencies. So, all of that to say, I was kind of in the place where I was recognizing that I would need some other options. I was also highly confident because I'd put myself through school. I passed the boards. I'd done all of those things. And so, like, I was really confident in my abilities. Like, I can, right? But it was really a borrowed confidence. It was like a very, I would say, like, my achievement was definitely my identity. It wasn't actual, like, I have value, I am, a good person. It was not self-esteem. And so there was a part of me on the inside that also recognized that. And I had grown up in the same place my whole life. So I really didn't know how to make friends in this new area that I lived in because I'd never had to make friends. I literally knew every person that lived in the town. And so that's kind of where I was when I decided that I was going to give this a try. I was just in a point where I was like, I want something different for the future. And if nothing else, I want something different for the immediate, like, present here. And I think I was really hoping that it would give me definitely some social skills that I lacked. And also that I could maybe, I don't think I knew it, but like, I thought it would make me more confident because I would learn those skills. But the truth is, I actually found a lot of self-esteem here, and a value for just who I am as a person. And I just never expected that. I do have some incredible business skills now and some leadership and people skills that I would never have had. And I always do giggle a little bit because I get a lot of job offers. So if I never wanted to do Mary Kay again, I could really have a wide variety of jobs that I could get. And what I think is so cool, none of those are based on me being a dental hygienist. They are all based on my communication abilities, my people skills, and my leadership skills. And that's all been learned here. Now, this is 24 years later. I didn't have any children. We were newly married. Now I've been married for, 25 years, and my kids are all big. They're all grown. And the reason that I keep choosing this is, well, it's twofold. Number one, it's still building the life I love and helping me become the woman I want to be. I don't know a lot of careers that can go through that degree of transition in life and self, all of those things. but for me, it has. It really has. It's transitioned with me, and it's still helping me create the life that I love that's meaningful for myself and my family. And it still fits. And I think that's really amazing. And it's definitely helping to continue to grow me, think new thoughts, try new things. And I just really value that. The second component is having like lived and created the life that I loved makes me want to give that to other women. Like, I want to know, and I don't care if it's because, you're taking care of aging parents, or you just want to have a baller lifestyle and travel, or maybe you love your job and you just need a little something extra, or maybe you love your job, but there are some leadership and business communication skills maybe, and there's no place for you to really learn those, but it's what would help you get to where you want to go next. So all of that to say, I still choose this because I want other women to decide who they want to be and what they want their life to look like. And then I want to teach them how this can be a vehicle at whatever level they choose to use it, for themselves. And some people, they're like, this is like my social, this is my like circle. And I will tell you, it's bomb for that because our crew really supports each other. And in this world, I think true connection is a missing piece, and we definitely have it here. Um, but I want to give that back because it's been so meaningful to me in my life. Um, as far as I think the thing that people most misunderstand about Mary Kay is they assume that being in sales means that you're pushy or that you're shoving things down people's throat or you're begging people to do stuff. I don't do any of that. I literally am like, this is what I do. This is who I am. This is what I had to offer. And if it can be of service to you, awesome. And I put myself around people, and I mean, I tell them what I do, just like I told them I was a dental hygienist, but you definitely don't have to be a psycho about it. I'm a business owner, just like somebody that owns a Chick-fil-A or a Dairy Queen or a Starbucks. Um, I just work from my house instead of a brick and mortar building that I purchased from someone else. Um, what a consultant actually does, I think more than ever before, it's really cool. We create like beauty blueprints for people. Like there is so much noise and information out there. I think we really help people cut through all that information and say, what would be right for you? Like, what are you looking for? What matters to you? Okay, these are some things that might help. And maybe we do a bridal or a beauty blueprint for your skin. Or maybe you're then like, oh my gosh, I would really like some help with makeup. And I do some of these in person and I do a lot of them virtually. And they take about 30 minutes. The in-person ones maybe closer to an hour. But I really cut through the noise and listen to what another person wants and I help her get it. Like whatever that is that's right for her. And I just think that's so fulfilling and it's so helpful. And I think women value it greatly. And I answer their questions like, my makeup's not staying on past a couple hours. Okay, let's talk about this and this. Or, my eyes, the shape of my eyes, I can't seem to make my eyeshadow look good. Awesome. Let's talk about that. And we do, a technique session maybe. But I think it's really cool. Like we teach women about products that would benefit what they're looking for and what they need and what they value. And then we just get them that product and it makes it really awesome. I love that type of a business. So it's truly that we're a consultant. Um, and the opportunities that are available, Mary Kay's been in business for over 60 years. And, a lot of women love Mary Kay. And some of the most successful people in the company are, in this Midwestern region, but they've retired and they did not backfill themselves. So you have a lot of women that love the product and don't know where to get it or don't know somebody to get it. So I do feel like the opportunity is there. I think a lot of people are really overwhelmed by the box stores. And even if they purchase things at a box store, they don't know how to use them. And if you go to one of the box stores, a lot of times you have to pay for one of those consultations. So I really value that this is a place where I'll come to your home or come into your home via the screen and help you find what's right and best for you according to your time and terms. So I think that's really cool. I also think that it fits really well as a woman. I don't have 3 and 4 hours to be gone for a shift or for a situation. I can find an hour here or an hour there and sprinkle it around the rest of my life. I think that that works for a lot of women, especially women that work other careers like this. I mean, I did Mary Kay full time for a year while still doing my dental profession, and that's what worked for me, and that gave me a lot of options. So um, the kind of culture that we've worked to create here is probably the thing I'm the most proud of. I can't speak to how every leader in Mary Kay runs her business. I would never try to. What I can tell you about is how our crew runs. And it's very much based on relationships and respect and finding what your ingredients for your meaningful life look like. And then where can this support that? I love that. We are very supportive of each other. We encourage each other to grow. We also encourage each other to like try things that we're scared of or whatever. And I'm sorry, but I think that kind of personal growth, and that's just important. I mean, and like we do life together, weddings, babies, illness, divorce, like all the things. And again, I think having a circle matters. Um, I think my prayer is that um, every woman experiences, whether they're with me for the product or with me to learn about a business or with me for whatever reason, I pray that she feels seen and heard. It's paramount to me as a leader in Mary Kay. That she have a place where she can gain skills. Okay. She can be seen, she can be heard, she knows she's valued. She can learn skills that will just help her be better. I don't care if it's communication in her relationships, communication in her other job, communication with her customers, whatever. I want those skills to be available to learn however much or little she wants. And then last but not least, I want women to have more opportunities. And for some people, that's using their Mary Kay to pay for a week or 2 weeks of daycare costs every month. Or for some women, it's, they used it to pay for their wedding, or they used it so they could have the size of family they wanted, or they're paying off student loans so that they're not still paying for them when, their kids are in college. Like, that is different for each woman. I want there to be that kind of opportunity. Um, and, as far as why it's important that every woman feels free to choose what's right for her, because we have enough people in this world telling us how it should be, what we should do. And I think that's just baloney. Women are smart. We don't need someone to tell us what to do. Like, I always think of Reese Witherspoon. She's giving an award speech and she's like, I always love how movies portray the damsel in distress. And she's like, yeah, I have never once been like, oh my God, an emergency. Let me go find a man to tell me what I need to do. And it's not because I hate men. I like men. There's one in particular. I've been married to him for a long time. But like, I think we're smart. We know what we need. And P.S., when that changes, we want something that will change with us. And so every woman is capable, and I want her to trust her voice. I don't want her, I mean, I do want her to trust mine, but I want her to trust hers more. Um, and I will just say the kinds of women that tend to truly enjoy Mary Kay, it's not what most people think. They think that you have to have some really outgoing personality. Um, I'm actually quite introverted. I love people. Crowds are really hard for me. And yet, like, you guys, I needed to learn how to be around people more because like I ended up having children. My husband has a career. I'm around people for his work. I'm around like my kids as teachers and events and all of that stuff. Like I needed to learn how to be around people and I wasn't that great at it. I It's okay that I wasn't great at it. It doesn't mean that I haven't done quite well in Mary Kay. So I just really think if you hate people, and I mean really hate people, this is probably not a business for you. But if you're like, even if you don't know, I didn't know anybody. And I was like, well, this would be a way to rectify that. So I did, okay? So I will just say the kinds of women that tend to enjoy Mary Kay, it's not a personality style. It's, can I learn new skills? Are there new skills that I'm willing to learn? Um, People who really value being part of a team and also who value being independent. Our people are all independent and also that are like, I want to come to a table where people are bringing their gifts and talents and where I can bring mine and benefit them and I can benefit from theirs. Those are the things that actually make someone good at this. Um, I will say gifts and interests or seasons of life that make it a good fit. I've just seen it work around so many different giftings. There are some people that are highly extroverted, people that are highly introverted, people that are highly creative, people that are severely not creative, people that are, more analytic, people who couldn't balance their checkbook to save their soul. I think that really in seasons of life, I did this before I had kids. I did this while I was having our family. I did this while we were raising our family. I've done it when my husband's career was very full. I've done it at a very high level and, supported our family in a very significant way at different times. Um, and so I will just say, I don't think there's a type. I just think it's more of, does a woman decide that it's for her? Um, and when I say, what I would say to someone who's just simply curious, I would just say, think about your questions and ask your questions. Because again, I can't speak to everyone in Mary Kay, but what I can tell you is that if you're watching this video, you're working with someone who's probably in my crew. And what I can tell you is that you're going to get answers and no pressure. Like, I don't want people to do this if it's not right for them. And P.S., can we just say, this is like learning more about the company. It's more about what Mary Kay has to offer as a business. It's not getting married to Mary Kay. You're not having a baby or building a house with Mary Kay. So some people do it for a season. Some people do it for a reason, to change their situation, whatever that is. And some people do, like myself, choose to do it for a lifetime at whatever level. It doesn't mean you have to do it at this level. But what I would just say is if you have curiosity, ask yourself what questions you have. Do not, and I don't care if it's this business or any others, start asking other people what they think about something that you're considering for yourself. Because they're going to tell you what they think they could do. They're going to tell you about some experience that somebody else who's not you has. If I would have listened to all those people, I got way too many opinions. And at the end of the day, I was the one who's going to do the work or not do the work. So it doesn't matter. I'm just saying, I don't care if it's anything, whatever, going back to school, whatever. If you running a marathon, whatever, if it's something you want to find for yourself and try for yourself, do it. Ask your questions. Talk about what concerns you have. And I just want to kind of close this up today with an invitation to you to reflect, not to decide anything, just to reflect on maybe what stood out to you, to encourage you to complete the short reflection questions that I'm, passing along with this. I'm inviting you to continue the conversation. If you're like, well, I hadn't thought about this, but now I am, or, I've really been considering this, or, I don't think it's for me, but I really like the product. And so maybe that is something I could use it to benefit, the product at a discount. But whatever you do, whether you want to be a great customer and just better understand why your consultant loves this more, maybe it's like, maybe, I don't know. And you have more questions, that's cool. Whatever works for you, we're down for that. And we need customers and we love having team members. And the most important thing is that know that you're heard and you're respected and that whatever you want is what will help happen. So thank you again for taking the time, and I'll look forward to hopefully hearing from you again.